Listen up.
It's the number one voice of the tri-state. I'm number one. It's Cooking Up 215. So let the show begin.
Turn me up.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth, and this is Cooking Up 215, where we get you up close and personal with your favorite artists, entrepreneurs, shakers, and move makers, and boy, we got a Philly rising legend in the building, man. We got Mitchell Edwards in the building. What's up, Mitch?
All is good, man.
Listen, man, you outside working.
Definitely.
You holding Philly down on a whole different front.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, man, to see, you know, a young Philly dude on TV, like, on the regular.
Right.
And, you know, we was hanging out last night, and I ain't even get to tell you, like, I'm really a fan of the show. Like, I really watch All American, seen all them joints, and watch the homecoming joints.
Appreciate you, bro.
So I'm all the way tapped in.
That's what's up, bro.
You know what I mean? With your girlfriend and the dancing and all that.
Okay, so you saw the last jump,
you know what I'm
too?
saying? Listen, right. I really be tapped in. And what I like about it that's so dope is the character Cam. It's really like, it's you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, not meaning the way y'all may act or something like that, but you do music as well.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you acting as an actor, it's weird, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a dude who trying to make it in the music industry, but you really, real life, trying to work on your music shit too.
For sure, yeah.
So that's super dope.
It was dope because, like, when it comes to that showrunner, she likes to learn what we do and what else we can bring to the table, and she infuses it so well. So you mentioned my girl on the show and how she's a dancer. Well, Netta, who plays that character, actually has extensive dance training.
Okay.
And the showrunner knows that. And Netta's a fire hip-hop dancer, and so she knows that, and she wants to incorporate that in the show. And I feel like what's cool about that is that's what our culture is.
Right.
Like, black culture, it's just one of those things where it's always surprises, and it just gets better and better. So for her to, like, find ways to incorporate that, it's just a strong way to reflect what our culture naturally does.
Right.
And I found it cool because, to your point, all the things that I did in life, I got to put into that character. Yeah. So, like, I used to play football.
I was saying, you used to play sports, right?
I used to play football. But then, like, I started going to the arts high school downtown. It was too far from my football team uptown. And then,
who you played for?
I played for the Northwest Raiders.
Okay.
Right at Germantown? Yeah.
Okay.
And so, once I started doing the acting thing, I pretty much had to give up football. And then, while doing acting, like, I learned how to, I can't say learn how to sing, it just all come together. Like, when you're doing musicals and shit like that, you dancing, you singing. Okay. So, like, I started training to that type of stuff, too. So, what was dope about the character is, to your point, I got to bring everything that I did prior to that character, from my life experience to him. And then the music thing kind of happened at the same time. Yeah. Because it was like, when I started doing music, I started sharing that on Instagram. Yeah. The showrunner found a way to bring it. Yeah, found a way to bring it into the show. So, like, maybe 2 years of me doing music, I was on the show doing music.
It's all cohesive.
It was all cohesive. And in fact, my first performance, I know last night was my first actual performance in real life. Yeah. My first time performing, like, singing in front of people was on the show. Ask Cam. So it was like, it was cool because in some ways, my life experience prepped me for the character, and then the character's experience prepped me for my next
for your real life experience. Yeah.
So it's been fire, man.
That's super dope. Yeah, that's as, I feel like that's as cohesive as it gets. Yeah, come on, let's take a toast to that, bro. You know what I'm saying? To the bamboo.
Oh, that is all right.
Like that.
Got a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah, cool joint, smooth joint.
Was it like honey or butter or some shit?
Right? Damn near like a honey butter, but this that bamboo. It's a rum. Got some vanilla notes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. I'm tasting like vanilla, like something sweet.
Yeah. Real chill, mellow.
Bamboo with a U?
This is perfect.
With a U?
Yeah.
Oh, bamboo.
Bamboo.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good joint though. Perfect for the occasion when you chilling, talking, vibing out.
Right.
Nothing too hard.
What's that, a cognac?
A rum.
A rum, you did say that.
Yeah, it's a rum. Yeah. So, as a youngin', you go to Kappa. And even in you going to Kappa, you know, I was talking to Mom Dude yesterday. She said she saw it in you, like, he got some talent. Like, we taking him to art school. Yeah. And you figured out, or she saw that you was made for performing arts from you performing Trapped in a Closet.
Yeah, that shit was funny, man. That was fire.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So basically, like, at my older cousin's 8th grade graduation party, It was around the time when Trapped in the Closet was going crazy. The R. Kelly hip hop real.
It was the shit though.
It was going crazy. He was doing like part 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin, my aunt loved R. Kelly.
Right.
So me and my cousin decided.
That's all aunts do.
That's all aunts do, right? So it was her son's birthday party or graduation party.
Okay.
So we used to listen to that shit all the time. So me and my cousin, like the person whose party, his younger brother.
Yeah.
Me and him were going to put on a show for them, and we was going to reenact Trapped in the Closet. And what happened was we turned the music on. Me and this nigga back like hiding behind the family. We got them all gathered in the living room. Yeah. And then my cousin turns to me, he like, I'm not doing it.
I left you hanging last minute.
Left me hanging, my nigga, the music's on. So I'm like, what you mean you're not doing it? He's like, I'm not doing it. I just shook it off, went out there, did it myself. And I'm just jumping from side to side, talking to myself, pretending to be all these different characters. And then like, I think I was maybe like 9 or 10 at the time. So you know how it is, like a little kid doing all this shit. The family gonna respond to it like, yo, you really trying to do this for real? My uncle's being like, send him to arts high school. And so that's what my mom's did. Like, after that summer, we knew I could be an actor because I literally was going on tour around the neighborhood, like different cookouts and shit.
Trapped in the Closet.
Every time he dropped a new part, I was like, hey, Mitch, he doing part 2, he doing part 3. Damn. So it was a cool little like summer wave or whatever.
You didn't get it on video?
No videos, bro.
That'd have been dope. You had a video, that'd have been some crazy.
Perfect, yeah. I mean, it's a different time, but like they still have video cameras. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Somebody got it on his cell phone footage.
They low-key was hating on me.
You gotta find Auntie. Auntie, pull that out. She got the old flip joint with the, you know what I mean?
Exactly. But what's cool is so many of my family members seen it. So like it's a family staple.
It's a moment that y'all can share forever.
Exactly. Yeah, like any of my cousins, like if they were sitting here right now, they'd be nodding their head emphatically like, yeah, he did that shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's wild to me because I didn't even know, like you just stated that you just really got into music during your stint with All American. I honestly felt like when I saw you sing that you had to be singing before you was acting. I thought you probably was singing since a young boy.
Kind of like, you know what's funny is like my mom's a singer.
Oh, okay.
She used to sing all the time, so I used to sing with her.
Gotcha.
And my mom's just very supportive. Like you probably picked it up last night. Very supportive, and so if I would even hum in the back seat and she heard me, she'd be like, I hear you, you sound good. And like, I feel like everybody has an affinity for singing, or not just singing, but music in general.
Facts.
Most people do.
Especially in Philly.
Exactly. So if you can find a way to tap into it, like why wouldn't you lean into it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So what ended up happening for me in terms of why I started somewhat later on in my journey, like 2019 is when I started recording music. I booked All American in 2018. That same year, 2018, I screen tested for In the Heights, the movie. And like, that was like $20 million budget movie, had a crazy paycheck. And the whole time I'm auditioning for it, I'm just bullshitting. I'm just like, like just like, I was doing it, I was singing, but I was more like characterizing. And I could just see the casting director, she was just vibing, so I just was like leaning into that. Right. And then I was just getting called back round after round after round. I'm like, oh shit, is this getting serious? And then finally I did the screen test. And so like I said, up until that point, I'm just bullshitting, but now we got the screen test, we got the contract. Now I'm like, oh, I gotta take it seriously. So now for that whole week, I'm trying to over prepare. I get to the audition and I couldn't sing a lick. It's like I couldn't control my voice. It was almost like I couldn't even hear my voice. Right. So one might hear that and hear that I choked, but for me, it was like you wasn't prepared. Like I was faking it till I made it, and I made it to the final round, and then I wasn't ready for it, right? Yeah. Now granted, the role ended up going to somebody of note, you know, Corey Hawkins. So I'm not sure what the process was like for him, but I feel like, you know, it was his role. That was a great opportunity from him coming off of Straight Outta Compton and what was going on with his career. I don't think it was necessarily for me. I think there was a lesson in that for me though. Like, you have a gift that you need to foster and nurture. Right. Because I almost got this $20 million movie from bullshitting. So clearly there's talent there. If you'd have put in just a little extra effort or had been all the way prepared with the singing part, it'd have been yours without a doubt. I don't even know if the role would have been mine. The process would have been different, right? Okay. But we didn't need it to be different. I needed to learn right in the mirror, like, hey, you have to take this seriously because you actually could use this. Like, it's a great tool to have in your toolkit, especially being in performing arts. Period. You want to have exactly because like you think like different weapons. You think that like you fooling people. But these people know what they doing. Like, I'm thinking I'm just bullshitting and they just fucking with me. But it's like, no, they know what they doing. Like, they see talent when they see it. Right. So, like, it's on you to foster that talent, though. Somebody can see your potential, but if you don't work at it, then it'll never be realized.
Right.
So I feel like the lesson there was like, look how much potential you have with this singing shit. You damn near booked this role. The role could have already been his, but the lesson that you learned out of this was prepare and foster and nurture your gift, so that the next opportunity comes, your preparation can meet it, and it can be something, you know?
Exactly. When you're ready, you don't gotta get ready.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what they say too, is always like, when you stay working at something, it's like everybody's always waiting and wishing on this opportunity. But I tell people all the time, it's like, if that opportunity was to land in your lap, would you truly be ready for it? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, most of the time, you're not.
Right.
And that's why you need the journey. You need to run into those type of situations to help you see what you're missing.
Yeah.
Help you figure out what you need to add, figure out what you need to sharpen, figure out what you need to pull back on. You know what I'm saying? But it just helps you add your finishing touches to your product, and then when every opportunity come your way, you're ready.
Exactly. And I think if you have like a positive mindset about those things, you can determine like and discern even what the lesson is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's easy for me to be like, man, I didn't get it, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get this, and I'm like, nah, like I knew I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
That's why that last week I tried to have like this intensive training or this intensive rehearsal process, because now I'm like, wait, I'm about to go in front of the big wigs. I gotta go to WB.
Yeah.
I gotta get a parking spot for the day. All of this, you know what I'm saying? At the time, this was before I started working like consistently.
Right.
So it was a bigger idea to me. And because I wasn't ready before the opportunity was there, I was trying to like cram it in and crunch it in so that by the time the opportunity came, there was nothing that I had left, because I was like overdoing it at that point.
It's like studying for a test last minute.
Exactly. You're just trying to
And then you done overwhelmed yourself, you doing way too much.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being prepared overall. But nah, I get it.
Exactly. But it was a blessing, for real.
No, facts. And even then, up until then, you had a lot of things going on. So I know like 2016 you did Be Devil. You know what I'm saying?
That was cool.
Yeah, I seen the trailer for that. That looked like a dope joint.
That was cool.
That was the one with the app or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like a killer app. So
Yeah.
you download this app on your phone, and like they somehow get your information and learn who you are. And he was going around like killing people. It was kind of. I feel like everybody want to be in something like that though. Like if you're
I was gonna ask you that.
You want to be in something like that because it kind of reminds you of like a Clue. And everybody start dropping out, and you're like, what's going on? How come they? You know what I'm saying? Or it also reminded me of Final Destination.
Right.
When the friend group just starts slowly
And you
diminishing.
one picking off one and one. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was that kind of film. And the process of shooting it was like everybody was super young. The girl who was the lead, she had just came off of Poltergeist, which is a classic horror film. So she had a lot to like bring to the horror film realm. And I feel like she had like the emotional depth. Her name is Saxon Charbino. She had like great emotional depth that she was bringing to the character that I feel like we were all learning from. But she had just did this big ass movie like 3 months ago with like crazy actors that have this classic plot. So I felt like she was bringing a lot to that particular process that we all fed into.
Right. Yeah.
Or fed off, I should say.
And that's dope to learn from. Like you're gonna pick up things from people that get to be around other people. And I just think that it's dope to get to experience those different type of roles. You know what I'm saying? To not always play just the stereotypical role. You know what I mean? To get action joint, I feel like it's something people want to do. Like,
of course.
You know what I mean?
Of
Like I
course.
feel like if I was an actor, like you gotta give me some The Rock type shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to dodge out of plane, jump out some shit.
Absolutely.
You know
and
what
do
I
it
mean?
yourself. You want to do your own stunts?
I would do my own stunts. Long as they got my insurance right, you know what I mean? Had a net
I
at
ain't
the
doing
bottom.
none of that shit until it's like prime time. I did all the shit before.
For real?
And now it's time. Yeah, I ain't. You break a
you
leg
enjoy-
for 2 months or 3.
Fuck the whole money out, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tom
That's a
Cruise can
fact.
do that shit because he Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like he can be out of work if he needs to be out of work.
He got
'cause
the bag
fucked himself.
already.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I fuck myself up, I'll be broke. Nigga.
Can't nobody go act for you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. I just always look at it like, man, that gotta be some fun shit to do. You know what I mean? Like even when you watch Fast and the Furious, like I know some, like of course they not doing everything, but it'd be like I always thought that was like, yo, that gotta be a dope ass experience.
And what's cool too, like even if you're not doing it, having to act like you are doing it is cool too. Because like, let's say I do have a stunt man. He might be doing the stunt, but I'm still doing the acting that they're like zooming in on.
Right.
So that's also cool to imagine yourself doing a stunt as well. So having action in general just is always fun.
Just
to
a
do.
dope joint. So what would be your, like, let's say what's the type of role that you always wanted to play that you may have not played yet? What type of movie? What type of situation?
I feel like a biopic, like being able to play somebody, because like you then kind of have to go into who they already are, and it's not mimicking them, right? You're still recreating, but you're drawing off of something that's already created. You know, as a creative, we're creating something out of nothing. Yeah. And of course, we're pulling from our experiences to kind of create a character or even write a song. Right. But if there's already somebody there, I just have to study that person, and I get to like
try to become
that person, and you actually have the example in front of you. Right. That seems cool, and because like typically biopics are made about special people who did something significant. Facts. Or typically people who are eccentric or bold and brave, like just have a big offering to the world. So I just feel like I would love to do something like that. Yeah. So is that kind of like part of you? Like you like to embody people, or kind of like, I don't even know what you would call it. Like I seen your the poem you did for what was this, Stephen Clark, that was gunned down, the police brutality joint. You know what I'm saying? You did the acting and the actual poetry. That's right. And so what was that like for you? Man. Because it's like you stepping into the shoes of somebody who went through something traumatic. And I feel like that itself pulls in emotions, just thinking that deeply about being in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? When you talking to your mom and you like, hey mama, that shit still gotta feel. You like, you know what I mean? To really get into it, you gotta embody it a little bit. And what was cool about that, I feel like that poem, I was embodying the spirit of him, right? Being like, I made the news because I got killed. Yeah. So it was almost like I was playing his ghost. Right. And trying to get my mom's attention. And the reason why I say I made the news today, mama, I made the news, I say it like 3 or 4 times in the beginning because in my mind she can't hear me because I'm a ghost. So like, to that point, I'm not even tapping into the human, I'm tapping into the spirit, like the afterlife, and how like I imagine his spirit ascending to heaven, being like, Mom, look at me, I'm up. But the irony of that is that you got killed, you got gunned down, something ugly and traumatic happened to you. But like the spirit is still gonna celebrate because from what I understand, Stefan was a bright person. So from what I was hearing from his family, because I studied and was like, okay, they were saying he was a great person. So I'm like, what if he wasn't upset? Not so much upset about the situation, but like, what if his spirit was celebrating like, yo, we did something that was newsworthy. Right. And now I get to go to heaven. So like, what was cool about that was just trying to embody this, like, the irony of being happy as a ghost. Yeah. For somebody who was killed in a traumatic sense. Yeah, it's like, it's like the spiritual ascension, but at the same time, all the negativity around it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you die, I guess anybody want to be happy that you're going to heaven, and at the same time, we all want to be recognized and noticed. It just so happened you being recognized and noticed and celebrated for all the wrong things. Exactly. Like I call that I made the news because that's such a celebratory event for anybody. Like to make the news. You make the news, you hype. Even when niggas get caught for crimes and they make the news, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like they don't know the news. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like because of that, I wanted to know what Stefan would say. And I don't know. I just tried my best to understand, but then it became a poem about being a black man and our experience when it comes to the police. Right. And like I didn't have to be Stefan to understand that. I am Stefan. Stefan is me. We have that same walk in life because the same way they treat him, they treat me. They treat you. They treat y'all in this room. Like we already know that story. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy to write after like that first stanza because I'm like, okay, this now I'm just talking about our shit. Yeah, and we all embody the same shit. So, and what I definitely wanted to ask you, stemming from that, you being in a new place now, you know, Philly, we already got our shit. We deal with asshole cops on the regular, and we in Philly. So it's like, how was it moving to LA, young black, you know, trying to make your way out there, build your name, you on TV now. Do you still experience like police discrimination and shit like that? You know, I try to stay low key. I try to stay out the way. So for the most part, I dodge that. Or I just, you know, also I feel like I'm protected. You know what I'm saying? God, you know what I mean? There you go. But at the same time, I have been pulled over one time and I had to like get out the car and they put me up against the wall. It was real rough and aggressive and I was in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard. And I was just like, all this for what? Like,
Yeah.
because my registration was expired at the time, a month or so, and it was because I was coming back after being away for 3 months shooting something. Like, so in my head, it's like, oh, wow, you can get caught up over nothing.
Nothing.
And then somebody was like, it's crazy because somebody was like, had mentioned my acting or something. I can't fully remember how it came to be, but the one cop was like, I don't care. So it was one of those things where like, what usually serves as a privilege became something that was a negative in the situation because now he feel like, let me step on your toes because you had success.
Right.
So, you know, things like that are scary because you feel like you become an enemy, you know what I mean, in that moment, and they're trying to like exploit you.
Right.
When in reality, I'm not bragging. If I ran the light or my registration was bad, I don't give a fuck who I am. Like, I know you're just doing your job, but don't try to double down on me because you feel like, oh, I get special treatment.
Think I'm somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm nobody, bro. I'm cool. Like, if I did the wrong thing, just give me my ticket, let me go. But they wanted to prove a point at that point. You know what I mean? So that was just like 3 years ago.
They want to dim your light. They want to show you're not special type shit. You know what I mean? They want to prove to you.
Right.
And it was crazy because then that shit just happened to, I can't remember his name, but it was like down Miami. One of the football players got like pulled over and shit. Cop like pulled him out.
I was about to say, it's Tyreek Hill, right?
Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, he was getting under his spider,
Hill.
right? Or the car jump.
Yeah. It was like a McLaren or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you next to the right there next to the stadium. Other players pulling up and letting you know, like, yo, he going right here, and they still putting that pressure on you. So it's like, I'm sure, like, you know, people like yourself that you got a name or you working, and then you in these areas. You got to be in these areas. You working in these areas, living in these areas.
Right.
It still be like this division. You know what I mean?
And like I said, you got to walk that line because Tyreek Hill knows who he is to the world, but like I said, it becomes a target.
Yeah.
Because now the cop wants to like sometimes flex their power against your power. Your social power don't have nothing over my legal power. So let me try to sun you real quick.
Right. Yeah. It's a nasty world. I just figured I definitely had to ask, you know, how it is just navigating and being from Philly. Like, you know, we already know how they are. You know what I'm saying? Because some people from other places, even like some people you may act with, you know what I'm saying? You come from a different cloth than they come from. Some of them are from privileged neighborhoods and shit like that. They never even understood this type of shit. Like, oh no, they're cops, they're friendly. Like, we know. No, hold up, man. Don't be too calm down. Hands on the dash. Like, we get it differently.
Yeah, I feel like the culture shock aspect of like other cultures not knowing that that's what we've gone through, it makes it one of those things where like they don't really understand why we already know what to expect. You know what I mean? They'd be like, well, why would you think the police are this way? It's like, you'll see. Yeah. They'll show you. Point. Watch.
Right. Yeah, I don't even have to say nothing.
Exactly.
Eventually you'll understand. So you went on, you got parts. Oh, matter of fact, you did your first TV debut was on Law and Order.
Crazy.
SVU. That's a major joint. Law and Order, like one of the longest running TV shows, first off. And then, like, you know, you got Ice-T on there.
Right.
A legend himself. Like, what was that like? One, landing that role, and then two, working with Ice-T.
Well, landing the role was incredible because I feel like coming out of the school I went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of people, actors who like succeed in the business once they graduate from that school. And like we all know, the rite of passage is guest starring, right? And guest starring on network TV, it don't get no better than SVU. That's the longest running TV series. All my aunties watch it. My grandma watch it. Like, I'm coming home telling you I'm gonna be on Law and Order. Everybody knows exactly what that is. Right, you know what I mean? And what was cool is that you know how SVU is, or just Law and Order in general. It's about a case, and you can be the center point of that case. And my character happened to be the center point of the case. So the whole episode was centered around my character. So it was a lot of work for me. Yeah. And what was dope was like Ice-T, Mariska Hargitay, who plays Olivia Benson, they were incredibly, incredibly supportive. Like, you can tell they work with actors all day long, or all week long, or all year long, I should say. And they're used to people coming in and out. Right. And
so they're patient.
They're patient, but they're also like, it's something about, put it like this, it's like, they're good. This show is a well-oiled machine, is running, but that's not typical in our industry. So what I felt was a sense of like, they understood how important this is to the actor to be a part of this experience because we good.
Right.
We do this shit every day, all year long. They gonna let us know if we want to do another season, we will.
Yeah.
But we understand that, like, for you, this is a big moment. So they do their shit. They don't get me wrong. It's not like they take a step back. They still the leads of the show. But when it was my time, they was very much like engaged with me. It wasn't no, we're not gonna be here to shoot his scene. He can shoot his coverage by himself. It wasn't like they were acting differently when the camera were on me. They were giving me the same shit. And like afterwards, they would pat me on the back, good job, or like giving me nicknames like One Take Jake. They were just like saying stuff like that. And you know, I'm there for the whole week. I'm there 8 days.
Yeah.
And I got my own trailer this week, and I'm made to feel like, you know, one of them.
Okay.
From the production side, because they want you to be comfortable, but you don't expect for the actual cast to make you feel that way all the time.
Such the same
especially
way.
Legends.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ice-T, Rishka Hargitay. These are some of the top working actors in our industry.
Facts.
And Ice-T was like how you would expect him to be. He just kept spitting game all day.
Yeah.
Like all day, he just spitting game. But to the point you're like, all right, OG, like, all right, I'm cool. But for real, you don't want it to stop.
Right.
Because it's like, it's Ice-T. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has so much to offer from a cultural standpoint, from the acting side, the music side, just media in general, pop culture in general. So it was definitely one of those experiences, and it was early in my career that made me feel confident and made me feel like, okay, I can definitely do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nah, that's
and then all my family got to see it. They had a whole watch party. Everybody know SVU, so it was cool. It was cool.
That's what I'm saying. To have that be your first TV series is crazy, bro. Right. You had some nice, some real nice accolades. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
After that, you got, you know, I know you did Roxanne, but you got Burning Sands. Mm-hmm. And is this where you meet Trevor Jackson, or you and Trevor Jackson already have a relationship prior to? This is where y'all met, Burning Sands. Mm-hmm. And that was crazy too.
Crazy. I mean, what y'all saw, and it's funny because me and Trevor actually just watched that movie again like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And
you go back and watch shit that you've been in? Like
sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I think that was one of the first times I had done it. My bad.
No, you good. The top. Yeah, I just want to make sure you good. That's all. You
watch it.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're right.
Well, we rewatched Burning Sands, and that was the first time I had done that in a while. Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes it happened. Like sometimes I go to my grandma's house and she watching the Law and Order episode. She watched that shit all the time, bro. So I'll see it and they be like, oh,
look at my
cool.
baby.
All the time. She'll call me like, you were on Law and Order last night. I'm like, thanks, grandma, I'm cool. I'm gonna check to see if I got a check on the way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Burning Sands, we rewatched it. And what y'all saw, I think I'm just now starting to realize what the product of that movie really was. Because, you know, sometimes you have an experience, like when you shoot a film, you don't really, when you see it the first time, you don't see it as a film. You see it as like the final product of the process you just went through. So it's like,
you're not
watching
it for its entirety, like outside of it.
Yeah.
You just watching it from the work
set,
of it.
you remember the environment. Like, I like when new movies or TV series come out like a year or so later because I forgot about it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it'll be like, especially with a TV show, like 2 months later. Yeah. So you're and then with TV, a lot of times it airs while you're still shooting. So you don't even watch it. You might watch the premiere and then that's it because you're so immersed in it. Right. So like you see, like right now, I'll see that China as the China that I saw, or like this refrigerator as the fridge I saw. I don't see it as like a part of a movie. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you watching it, you just watching like, oh, that's the angle they chose, or that's the shot they chose, or that's the performance take that they chose, and you don't see the film. But watching Burning Sands back, I'm like, oh, this was a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. Now the process of Burning Sands felt like a masterpiece, and I think that's why it took so long to see it as a film, because the experience was so rich. Mm-hmm. So every scene had memories that you couldn't detach from, whether it's just like so much fun. Because for instance, that final scene in the movie when it's Hell Week or Hell Night, and we come in and chop up their ribs and all that shit. Mm-hmm. That night we were there all day. We were supposed to shoot that in the daytime, but there was a huge thunderstorm. So we sitting in. It was the last day of production, by the way. So everybody ready to go home. Yeah. Everybody got different flight times. Yeah. Ready to go. My flight was like 9. His flight was at 6, and they telling us we gotta wait for the rain. So like watching that final scene, you remember the fact that, oh man, we was in the house in the cabin, we was bugging out that whole day waiting to shoot this fucking scene, and then when we finally got to shoot it, we only got a take or two. So like I'm just basically saying, when you first take in the film or the project, you take in the process that you went through.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to remove that. And so when it comes to Burning Sands, all those guys, all those girls are still people that I consider friends because of how well we connected. And so Burning Sands it was so hard to see it as the movie for such a long time because the experience was so rich. So whenever I seen Burning Sands, I was remembering that we all stayed at this spot called the Bosco, all together like it was a big ass dorm room. And you see the Bosco, you see the laser tag weekend that we did, you think about the cookout that we did. You know what I'm saying?
It pulls in so many memories that you still can't see.
So many memories.
Yeah. And
then now we got friendships out of it too. So now I'm looking back, looking at look at that nigga when he was 20, like this is funny. Because now we're 8 years later, or however, what is it, 2025, so now we're like 9 years later. Yeah. So now we're looking at each other 9 years ago, laughing at each other like, look at you, like young Trevor or young Malik, shit like that. So it's cool, bro. I mean, Burning Sands was definitely, at the time, prior to All American, and forever will be one of my favorite projects ever.
Yeah, that was a serious joint though.
Yeah.
And are you like a pledge of the fraternity at all?
I didn't.
You didn't?
There was no way I was going.
Was that why you saw the movie?
I wanted to not. You hear about that shit.
Yeah, no.
And I just personally felt like I would have got like picked on. Like
they'd have just really been at you.
I feel like, cause I don't give off like soft. I don't give off soft energy. So I feel like niggas would have tried to challenge me just because they had the authority to. Yeah. And I wouldn't have responded.
Just because the girls like you, they gonna be on you. That's what I'm
saying. Like you just gonna try to like fuck with me. Mm-hmm. And I ain't gonna be with it. Like I'm not gonna cooperate. Like.
It's not gonna go that way.
Nigga, ain't nobody about to just punch me in the chest. I'm just gonna be like, all right, cool. Like, fuck out of here.
It's a little different.
It's a little different, you know what I'm saying? So I knew that wasn't for me.
Yeah, no, fact. Definitely not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. And so, and like that went to Netflix. Like you had a lot of shit though. The Fix on ABC. Man, like your run was crazy. And now you know, you're here now. You on. Damn, I don't know why I just drew a blank. I'm reading at the same time. That was crazy. But no, you're here now. A Homecoming, All American. You've been on there since the first original show, taking it till now. Like, is it an actor's goal to be on a long running series as like, you know, All American is? Or does that sometimes act as like a curse, like where do you get too comfortable in a set role?
Or not even so much that you get too comfortable. Sometimes it can be that the audience gets used to seeing you as that character. You know what I mean? I think one of the like strongest examples of that, and this is not to, because she has an incredible career, but like Tisha Campbell playing Gina. We see her as Gina.
Everywhere she goes, she's Gina.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or maybe Jay sometimes from My Wife and Kids. But even when we was watching My Wife and Kids, she was Gina.
You still saw her as Gina.
On My Wife and Kids. Facts. So that can't happen. But like, I feel like this industry, me personally, is so fickle and jobs come and go, but not frequently. If you get one that's long standing, just lock in on that. And that's how I felt about y'all gonna give me a check for 7 years, bet. Yeah. Because then when it's over, you don't know when you're gonna work again. So I feel like being afraid that an audience might lock you in or think of you only as one character is a fear that you really shouldn't have. Because if they know you as that one character, you can continue to work still. Right. You know what I mean? Like I said, you just Gina and My Wife and Kids.
They just gonna keep remembering that.
Exactly.
They gonna see you outside like Cam. You know?
I'm gonna be Cam forever. You know what I mean? For them All American fans, I'm gonna be Cam no matter what film or TV series I do, and that's cool with me. You know what I mean? I fucks with Cam. So
but I know cool. like Mike Epps always talked about how like, you know, and that was just one movie, but yeah, like everybody would call him Day Day.
Exactly.
He's like you forever Day Day to a lot of people, but you know.
And in the cases of Tisha Campbell and Mike Epps, it's really a testament to their work, right? Exactly. It's an iconic.
You brought that character to life so well that it was like natural for people. People look at that like it's you, damn. Exactly. It don't seem forced. It just feel natural.
And in that, I feel like that's a compliment.
Exactly.
Like I don't know if it's a goal, but if you can get there, it's a compliment.
It still speak to your skills in a sense.
Right.
So that's dope. And I had a question about that shit too. Why did they kill off Tay Diggs?
I don't know.
You don't know? They don't ever ask y'all that? Because you know,
I found out through the grapevine of working, because our sets are like, well, our base camp, which is where our trailers are, we share the same lot. So they're basically our neighbors.
Okay.
So we see them all the time. Like, it was a big deal because obviously Tay is like the grandfather of the show. Like,
right.
And he very much played that role well because he was cool, bro. He was so cool. So I think not losing Tay, but knowing that Tay was leaving the show, it was a big deal for everybody. So we heard about it, like, you hear Tay's leaving? They killing off Tay. But that was like 3 weeks before the episode aired that we found that out.
Damn.
And like, I mean, obviously it doesn't affect our show because it's separate. He never appeared on our show. But I think it definitely, within the All-American universe, it was definitely a thing because Tay pretty much carried us over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, for him to be how he was on set, like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like he was like a fatherly figure the whole time.
Yeah.
It was just like him having that balance of being the seasoned vet, but what most people don't know is he was a big goofball.
Oh, you can see it. Yeah.
Huge.
Social media help you see.
Oh my goodness.
He definitely goofy. I figured he was laid back.
Goofy, but he grounded the experience because like the show did take off and did start to reach heights, but that's not something he wasn't unfamiliar with. You know what I mean? He understood that, and I feel like him being a part of the show was a height in and of itself.
Facts.
So the fact that he carried it with such grace and such like humility, and he poured into me, man. He patted my back once I got my promotion. He heard me singing one time on set. You know, he's a singer too, and he was like, "You got a great voice, man." And he was like real serious, like, "Oh shit, okay." He said, "No, you good? That was you singing? Okay." So stuff like that, that's just like super encouraging. But I don't know why they killed him, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I was wondering, I'm like, damn, why they killing her Tay Diggs? I figured he gonna go do some movies or something. He must be busy.
Right.
But yeah, I figured he was on there for some years. He was like, man, it's time to move on. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what happens when you're a legend. Like
you could do that.
I'll give y'all my time. I'm not saying that was his case, but you're a legend, so keep it moving.
You got the right to do that. I'm gonna take a break now. But man, you ready to get into this food?
What we doing? We cooking.
Listen, man, we about to. The Chef Q gonna come. She gonna put that food together for us.
For real?
Yes, sir. Listen, we gonna eat good.
What kind of food we got?
She about to tell us. She gonna bring it out. We about to go to this break.
Say less, bro. Say less.
Listen,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
You already
for
know
this.
who it is. Your boy Smooth. We got Mitchell Edwards in the building. It's Cooking Up 215. We be right back. Let's go.
It's our favorite part of the show. That's your favorite?
Yes, sir.
Chef, what you got cooking? You already know.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth, and it is my favorite part of the show. Time to get into that food. You already know I got my guy Mitch here. And you already know, gotta bring the big guns out when the big guns come through. Chef Q. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Q?
You already know. I was feeling homesick for a second. I think it's been like 2 weeks, but
put you to work today. You know what I mean? Working now. Yeah, back working.
Yeah, I ain't been working hard today. All right, but I'm gonna say your line. But so, yo, today, we getting into it. All right, I don't know where y'all at, but it's like 20 degrees.
Man.
15 degrees in Philly, okay?
Like
dangerous
so
20 degrees too, bro.
We taking it back to Grandma's kitchen today, okay? So today, we got homemade baked macaroni and cheese. We got the candy yams. Fresh sweet candy yams, not that candy sweet sauce y'all be making back at home. I don't know what y'all doing, but grandma style. We got fresh homemade fried chicken, and then we got sweet potato cornbread on the side. I mean, I don't know if y'all had sweet potato cornbread yet, but
I haven't actually.
I tried it one time, but this looks a little different.
I'm so excited.
This looking different. This sweet potato cornbread looking more sweet potato than cornbread, so I'm liking it.
I didn't even know that's what that was.
It's a beautiful thing, I guarantee you. It's a married, beautiful thing, I guarantee you. And then on the side, we got some deviled eggs with fried shrimp on top and a sweet chili soy sauce. Oh my God. When I say everything, I'm just saying, just when you go home, just don't tell her I made it. That's all I'm saying.
This one of them
Just don't tell her I made it.
Here's the thing, this been in our face for like 30 minutes, so like, y'all
ready.
let me know when it's time.
It's time, right?
It smells so good though.
The clock definitely ticking. I'm over this joint like a time bomb. You know what I mean?
I'm patient, but it smells so good.
I'm ready. I'm ready right now. Like the deviled eggs with the shrimp, you know, that's my favorite.
If
And
y'all
the
ready,
candy
I'm
yams,
ready.
yeah, I'm ready. So, you know, let them
What
know
that
where to
mean?
follow you at, Q. I mean, we about to get into this.
That's
food.
Yeah,
what I
you better
figured.
get into this
Yeah,
food.
that's
That's
what I
exactly.
figured.
Let them know where to follow you at. We're gonna make this toast and we're gonna get straight to it.
All right, y'all can follow me on Instagram at chefq_cutthroat, or you can come down to the office lounge and find me there Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week.
There we go.
Let's get it.
7 days, you committed.
Every day.
I ain't doing
Committed,
7
committed.
days. That's crazy.
He said Friday, I'm clocking out.
So, bro.
Thanks. Let's go.
Let's get it.
You already know what it is.
So
Your
what we
boy
starting?
Smooth. We about to get into it right now. Look, we going out right now. Your boy Smooth, cooking up 215. My guy Mitch, Chef Q. Let's get back to the show. Let's go.
Bet.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth, and we right back at it. Still here with my guy Mitchell Edwards. And listen, man, Chef Q done put something major together. This that time, baby. We get to, you know what I mean?
Man, I've been waiting for this for like 30 minutes, y'all.
Listen,
I'm ready for this, Jim.
we get to dig in, see what it's hitting for real, for real. Right at the mac and cheese real fast.
See, that's what I was afraid of.
What you afraid of?
It's a little cold. I'm a
Should've
hot
hit the
food.
mic.
I'm hot food only, like.
You
So I'm gonna hit the
need this
microwave.
shit
That's cool,
real
y'all.
quick. Do your thing. We keep it a big.
So I can give you a real assessment.
Yeah. I'ma still eat though. You know.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let y'all play around with the microwave.
How is it? How is it?
It's hitting. I'm still in the Mac.
Let me see this.
The Mac still be macking.
All right, wait. How am I supposed to do this? It's a lot. Should I take the scrimp off?
I think you gotta eat that, you know what I mean? All
That's
together.
All in one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Candy yams. Woo. Wait till you get to taste some candy yams.
That's crazy.
That joint stupid.
All right, I'm gonna cook y'all, but I ain't no chef, right? But I'm gonna try to guess. Like, is it mustard? Honey, what's going on?
What's going on?
No mustard.
Do people put mustard in deviled eggs though, right? That's the thing.
I think some people might.
People.
But you're not from the South.
I am.
Why did you say you was from Jersey?
I was raised in Jersey and from Georgia.
Excuse me. This tastes like Georgia though.
You gotta see what them candy yams saying for.
All right.
I need to see your reaction.
See, I'm the type of person. Once I like something, I'm just stick
Yeah,
to it.
you
know what
right
I'm
at
saying?
that.
Like, deviled eggs, we good. Let me see. All right. That's great. Good job.
The mac and cheese?
That's great. And it's the non-baked. This is the it's baked, but it's the non like casserole style, right? That's what you said.
No cheese sauce.
Fried chicken hitting.
This is gonna sound crazy. I gotta put it back in the microwave.
It ain't warm enough?
Nah, I like to see the little steam. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you want a hot plate?
I like hot food.
Bro,
I got it, bro. I got it.
Here's something. You ain't even gonna understand that microwave. That microwave be on some shit. Hit the play button in the middle. See, told you. Fuck that money up.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant I thought you was saying like it get hot fast or some shit.
It's commercial.
In a good way. You tried everything? What about that cornbread?
Cornbread good.
I don't even see that you ate that.
I hit it. I hit the edge.
Oh, I thought you was lying and shit.
It's crazy because it looked like pie, right?
It do.
But it is cornbread.
All right, that's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, we got a little steam.
Little tiny thing.
You know, not too much is going to burn the tongue, you know what I'm saying? But like,
I feel you.
I don't want it to taste like it's cold.
Take your time. I'm going to eat though. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You just want to catch up because I'm enjoying this meal. This is
I like the
delicious.
texture of that. That's
The cornbread, right?
Yeah, it's smooth. Hey, yo, I ain't know I got a meal out of this. This is a pleasant surprise.
Facts. You know what I mean?
Niggas is hungry, bro.
They don't treat you like this when you go on other shows.
Nope. What other show? I don't even know.
You probably don't even eat this good on set. You know what I'm saying?
So we not talking no more. We just eating, right?
We talking and eating.
But we ain't. That's when you know when niggas get quiet, you doing the right thing. You know what I mean with the food.
Them yams is good.
These candy and
Everything's good. You see them eating it. It's great.
These
I still ain't eat the chicken yet. You know when food good, like when you eat the entree, you just eat the sides. You know what I'm saying?
I always start with the sides too. That's the crazy part. But them yams,
Yams is great.
they some good yams.
They sugar free?
Sweet yams. Home cooked yams.
No, this is great. This is actually really, really good. It's really, really good.
Fried chicken.
It's like a restaurant.
They got this hot sauce though. I feel like you can only get this shit at the Chinese store. That hot sauce make everything taste good.
Was it Chinese hot sauce?
You know how they give you that shit in a little clear packet?
Yeah.
It's one of them
It's
joints.
that same one.
But I don't know, like, you know, that shit don't get, it ain't no real brand on there. It just got some.
Well, it is a brand. You just can't read that shit because it's in
There
Chinese.
you go.
Come on, don't be disrespectful.
I wouldn't know where to get it from.
Yeah, you're right. China.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I just go right to the Chinese store. Give me a couple packs of them joints. They put that shit in the bag for me.
I ain't lying.
I don't use like the Franks no more. I don't be using the Louisiana no more.
Yeah. This is great.
That hot sauce, though.
This is great. Thank you. It's
Yeah.
a pleasant surprise and it's great. To eat them.
So, I told you we still want to talk too.
But what, nigga? Let's eat the food, bro. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
So, little icebreakers and shit like that. So, give the people 5 things they may not know about Mitchell.
5.
Yeah, 5 weird facts about Mitchell. Like, could be some shit you like, or a weird thing you like to do. You might have like a ritual you do before you go on set, something like that.
Pray.
You might have OCD.
Yeah, if I don't pray, I don't feel right.
Yeah.
Of course. 5 things. 5 things you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm not just saying this. I'm a good cook. A great cook, actually.
Real.
Yeah. I ain't no chef, though. There's some chef shit right here.
Yeah.
But I got some pictures I can show you. I got the little circle plate, too. You ain't doing nothing fancy. I can cook. Let's see. I write poetry. Trying to think. You ain't got no pepper in that? Ain't no pepper?
What's that, pepper in the mac and cheese?
Oh, you do got pepper. I'm like, damn. I was gonna compliment you and say you got flavor with no pepper. But you know, I was really trying to stall to figure out the third thing. Third thing. Hey, I mean, it's just random. But I just bought a bike, bro. So I just became a bicyclist all over again. Like, you know how when you was a young boy, you just like ride the bike everywhere? I've been doing that shit.
And would you like do this out in LA?
In LA, yeah.
That's dope.
I just wanted to be one of them niggas who like, at the stoplight, I'm on my bike, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm healthy, you know what I'm saying? I'm on my fitness shit.
Taking care of the world at the same time, not polluting and shit.
Sometimes it'd be funny because sometimes the girl will pull out the phone like that.
Yeah.
But like, and I just like smoothly run off. That's cool.
Be looking like CJ off Grand Theft Auto. You ever see when he be pedaling his bike and shit? You ain't played Grand Theft Auto before?
Which one, San Andreas?
Yeah.
That's the last one.
That's the old John.
The one before that was Vice City, and that's the one I had.
Okay.
I used to play that shit every day, all day.
Grand Theft Auto.
So by the time San Andreas came out, I'm like, I gotta be responsible. I can't even buy
Can't play the game no more.
Yeah, good cook, cyclist. I said something else, but I forgot.
Cook, cyclist, and you pray before.
Oh, pray?
Going on
I mean, that should be a given, though.
Everybody don't.
Everybody. Oh, no, I said I write poetry.
And you write poetry.
That's 4. I gave you 4. That's 4.
Okay.
That's what's up. And then, lastly, like, what comes to mind? You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? No, this is not that crazy. So I'm not gonna set it up like that.
What?
But it's gonna look like I'm a liar. But it is what it is. I don't eat dairy.
What you eat, mac and cheese?
Bro. But mac and cheese is not dairy, though. You know what I'm saying? That's like calling bacon pork. It ain't. No, it's not.
Bacon
No, it's
not
not. So if you got somebody who say they don't eat pork, right? I only eat bacon.
Because you can
understand
get
what
beef
they're
bacon
saying,
and
you know what I'm
something?
saying? No, nigga, I'm talking about pork bacon, but it ain't. It's just bacon.
Hey, yeah. Yo,
All right, here's my thing. I'm a black man, bro.
If you don't eat pork, you can't eat bacon.
If I don't eat cheese, you telling me I can't have mac and cheese at a Thanksgiving dinner? As a black man,
if you don't eat cheese,
I don't eat cheese on a regular, like 360 days out of the year.
Right.
But Thanksgiving, Christmas.
No, see, I can respect
Easter.
that though, cause I'm not Muslim, so I eat pork on holidays. Like Christmas, I'm eating some pork.
You're not Muslim?
I'm not Muslim.
You got the little Sunni beard.
Yeah,
though.
you know, it's a Philly thing,
That's
so
a
they
Philly
be
shit.
automatically on, like, they
Yeah.
think you Muslim.
Yeah.
I get my salams and shit like that, and I give them.
Yeah. Do you say something? You say it back?
I say it back.
So you're a fraud.
Nah, I don't make me a fraud. I got Muslim family. Half my family Muslim.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
like, I understand the culture, like, and I respect the culture.
Okay, that's fair.
You get what I'm saying?
But like,
So-
if you don't, all right, that's religion. Let's not get into that.
because the thing is, I feel like your salams is, at the end of the day, it's a language. They just speaking to you in Arabic. You get what I'm saying? So necessarily, it's like when if a Spanish person said hola, you can't say hola back.
That's
like,
fair.
You get what I'm saying?
That's fair. Well,
if you know it,
should I say hola back?
it's hayyan ba.
That's not like cultural appropriation or something.
Why not? You ain't gonna say it like you them.
All
Like,
right, so put it like this. If you saw a Spanish lady in the street and you spoke to her first, you gonna be like, hola.
I'm like, buenos dias.
That's crazy,
Muchos
bro.
gracias.
That's crazy. That's a little racist. That's a little racist.
Muchos gracias.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Nah.
Nah,
But
I
real
feel you.
shit,
I
I'm
get
like,
what you're saying. You can respond
when
to
you
it.
fuck with cultures in the same way cultures fuck with you, it's the same thing even with Muslim brothers. Cause even like, let's say you got your Philly Muslims, but you also got your real like Arabic Muslims, that Indian descent type shit. Like the ones that's like cousins and shit. Like they still greet me too.
Okay.
So it's still a respect there. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I ain't gonna hold
I think
you.
it's respectful. Like I feel like when
I'm glad I
somebody say
warmed
you
it
do
up
something,
because like at first when I ate the sweet potatoes, I was like, damn.
didn't hit the same.
You mean to tell me I was sitting here smelling these good ass jams and it is not good? But as soon as we warmed it up,
It hit different.
perfect.
I fucks with them.
The vanilla, the cinnamon, the butter.
I eat cool candy yams.
So can you tell us your recipe? Nothing cold, bro. None of that cold shit.
No cool shit.
No cold shit. Salad. That's it.
I'm eating.
I was
that shit
saying, can you
as
tell
well.
us your recipe? I'm still trying to think of my fifth thing, so I need time.
Tell you the recipe when we finish.
Oh, you can't tell the people?
Well, technically, you had your fifth thing. Like you eat pork. I mean, you don't eat pork, but you eat bacon.
That's fair. That's fair. That's the truth, though. I ain't lying.
I feel you,
ain't
bro.
lying.
You got your exceptions, pretty much. You got your exceptions.
I don't eat dairy, but I eat mac and cheese.
Yeah, you got your one exception. It's exceptionary rule. Ain't that what they say? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I feel that.
Exactly.
I feel that. So, last night you performed. It was like your first on stage performance for in front of a crowd. So what was that like for you?
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, I feel like the energy was there. I feel like when it comes to me coming to the city, that's what I wanted to do. Because like I said, I got offered to do the entire tour. It was kind of early for that. But as soon as I saw Philly was on the card, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that for sure. Because I wanted to start with the city. I don't live here anymore, so it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's hard, because I got people here who will help me put it together, but it was like one of those things where I was grateful for having the opportunity where it was already built in. And just being on stage, I mean, like, I come from the stage. I told you I was a theater major.
Right.
But I never was on stage as a singer performing my own music. And so it was dope because some of the songs were unreleased, but I still had people like singing along, vibing out, trying to catch it. Like I could see them being real supportive.
Right.
And it was funny because when I first stepped on there, like I wasn't nervous, but the whole experience was new to me. But as I was like performing, I realized I'm not new to them. So they was fucking with me. They had like major support.
Right.
That was kind of easing me, like chilling me out. I was like, oh, let me just give y'all what y'all looking for, cause y'all chilling. Like little
They
girl-
expecting it.
That shit,
You know what I mean?
they
Right.
was there. They was there to like see what I was about. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of times when you're a new act, people don't give a fuck about you because they don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like to have engagement at the top, that was something I'm really grateful for.
And I was gonna ask that too. So it was like, cause you performing a different art. Like, you know, you're normally acting. So now it's like, I'm sure if somebody was to put you in front of a camera, it's probably nothing to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You could do that. You could turn that switch on like that.
Right.
But when it comes to music and stepping on that stage, do it feel like you a freshman again. Like you new to that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think what's cool about being a freshman, like, if you're a freshman athlete, still an athlete, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, this your first year at it. Right. That's kind of how I feel. I don't feel like I'm not supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I'm, like, trying to prove myself as an artist. I feel like I'm an artist who's just in their first year or in their beginning of the situation. So, like, the analogy of being a freshman is perfect because, like, yeah, I'm a freshman, but I'm eager to be here.
Right.
I remember my freshman year of college, first day of school, one of my college professors, they were like, the reason they teach freshmen is because we're so eager. We want to absorb everything. And she was like, try to hold on to your eagerness throughout life. And that's the same thing here. Like when you first starting something like music, performing, whatever, and all the phases are different, right? Because first it's going to the studio, then they might be shooting content and like music videos. And now when we're performing, each stage, like I'm eager about. So there's a level of like respect that I have, but also excitement that I have to like the fact that I get to do it in the first place. You feel me?
Right.
So it's cool.
That's dope. That's dope. Do the moments ever become dulling at a time? Like, you know, like after you do it so much, or after you done put your face out there so many times and jumped in front of cameras, do you become numb to it in a sense, or every time is it refreshing?
I wouldn't say numb at all. Like, nah, I definitely think each moment kind of like brings its own thing. I think there are times when like the career path can feel mundane.
Okay.
Like let's say you just auditioning for like months in and months out, and you book nothing. That can feel mundane. Let's say you're recording records that, I mean, for the most part, I connect to a lot of my songs because like I said, I just have the eagerness to like dive into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's say you're just going through a period where you're recording a bunch of songs that you might not be connecting with. There can be a mundane feeling about that, but I wouldn't say numb.
Right.
Not at all. It requires too much to do to be numb, you know what I mean? Like, just the act of singing, the act of listening to music in your ear while creating is stimulating, so I don't feel numb at all.
Gotcha. And so what's your plan with music? Like, you plan on jumping in full-fledged? Is it something that you just do, like periodically, or you plan on really giving your all when it comes to music?
Oh, I'm giving my all now, you know. I feel like for me it's a blessing that I get to do it. I'm grateful that I have a platform in terms of like making it easy for business and people wanting to like give me opportunities. But the biggest gift is the opportunity to do it. Okay. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna waste the opportunity by just like pussyfooting around, you know what I mean? The same way I attack the acting shit, I'm attacking this shit. And I'm just gonna use the confidence that I've garnered from the success of that to know that I can attack the same industry and I ain't gotta have no type of qualms about my approach for that.
Right.
And the same thing, I wanna get there, I'm gonna get here. It ain't gotta make sense to nobody. This name, that name, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna do it my way, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Is that a thing? Is there like an industry stigma about people that act and then try to do music, or people who do music and then try to act?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if it's an industry thing, if it's just like a human thing. Once you get to, like we talked about earlier, once you get to know somebody as a certain way, it's hard to kind of unsee them that way.
Right.
So like we talked about with like Tisha Campbell being Gina, and it's hard to unsee her. But to the point that we made earlier, she can still work. And we'll see Gina, but them checks will be Jay and whatever the new character name is. So like y'all can see Cam all day long, but my work ethic, I'm not Cam, I know that.
Right.
I'm gonna keep working towards what I'm trying to show and what I'm trying to be.
What you want to do.
Yeah,
and
so
trusting in your process.
If there is a stigma, it ain't gonna really apply to me.
Okay, got you. And so when it comes to like music, are there people that inspire you in a sense that like really put a battery in your back, make you love music and make you want to do music as bad as you want to do it?
You mean other artists?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we were just arguing about
Chris Brown and Usher.
Chris Brown and Usher, of course. I mean,
who did you pick one? Let me make you pick one on camera.
I ain't picking one. There's no need to pick one. I said it's like big brother, little brother, just respect. Like they both do their own thing, you know what I mean? But outside of those two, Miguel, Mike, and I always credit Whitney Houston. Just because I remember being a young boy, just like listening to her and being like mesmerized. You know how you see the little videos on TikTok of little babies being like, oh, wow. That was me when I first heard Whitney Houston, so I always credit her too for me.
That's dope. And you got like a, you like Ed Sheeran.
Love Ed Sheeran. I'm sorry. Favorite songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran,
Love
nice
Ed
though.
Sheeran.
We use
You know what's crazy?
What?
In preparation for the show, I was trying to I kind of felt like I hadn't been singing a lot because I wasn't doing a lot of sessions. So my ear was a little off, right? So in rehearsals, I felt like I was shouting a little bit on stage, preparation for the show. Put Ed Sheeran on, just calms me down. Shit, he's telling stories, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I get to connect to that.
He definitely got that calming music, like just ease you. You know what I mean?
But don't get it fucked up. He got a lot of emotions in there too.
No, facts.
You know what I mean? What I appreciate mostly though is the story, because it's stimulating. You know what I mean? You can just follow a story, fall in love with the song, and then just chill out.
I got married. That was our joint when our first
Thinking Out Loud.
What is that? And I hear it in my head.
Honey, I will. Yeah, Thinking Out Loud.
That joint was crazy. It's a good song though. Like, nice.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
Congrats
thank
on
you,
the
thank you.
wedding.
It's been a couple years now. We locked down.
What was crazy is in that video, that was the concept. Like he was at a wedding dancing their first dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's made to be that song.
Exactly.
It's
I mean, he
definitely
said, "I'll still love you like this when I'm 70." Like shit like that, you know. It reminds me of Music Soul Child, John. I love you when you're
That's the one though we was battling on.
What you mean?
Because I'm like, I like this. So we did we used the music one,
Those
but we
two
used it for
songs.
like the walk off. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was like you gotta choose your first dance joint, which is a major song. But then like after we walked down the aisle, you walking away, then that's when we played the music joint. But that was the two we battling for, cause I'm like, I like this music joint.
Yeah.
Cause like you say, that story though,
Yeah.
he talking that joint. Like he talking
That
crazy.
was my mom's wedding song. So that's that's what she walked down the aisle to. And I walked her down. So like,
Yeah, that's a heavy joint for you.
yeah, it's a heavy John when I think about that one.
He be talking in that joint. I like
Philly
you when
boy.
your head turned gray. Like, what? I like you when you gain a little weight. What? He saying all the shit. You ain't gotta say nothing.
All the shit.
Just play the song.
Exactly.
You ain't gotta say nothing. He gonna do all the talking for you.
And
You know what I mean?
the songs sound good too.
The song is perfect. Like, music is one of them. Like, for sure. So when it come to you being from Philly too, is there like a Philly thing at all in the industry? Like, cause I feel like there's not that many Philly people
You know what's crazy?
in all these industries.
I mean, I live in LA now. People always talking about like there's a bunch of Philly people here, and I meet people here and there.
Yeah.
But like, there's a large community. You already know it's a very artistic town, so it makes sense that a lot of us would be in entertainment
Facts.
in those industries. For me, whatever Philly, what do you say? Is it a Philly thing?
Like a Philly clique type, like, like a Philly community.
Oh.
Whereas though y'all all like in cahoots.
I'll tell you what, I have a bias. As soon as you tell me you from Philly, I'm paying closer attention to you. Especially when you're that far out in Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I just feel like I respect the energy you might be bringing, you know what I mean? And then more importantly, I feel like we gotta look out for each other.
Facts.
So like, I don't know if there's any type of like divisive stigma that comes with it, but in terms of the community,
Yeah.
me personally, I haven't found the large pool that everybody keep talking about. Like they say there's this Eagles bar out in Santa Monica. Hopefully it's still there after, everything.
Right.
I ain't found them, but when somebody tell me they from Philly, I'm locking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like I know the guy when that played in Wu-Tang. Like he Philly young boy who doing his thing.
Is that
Like I want to say a name, but I don't want to say a name and then it be the wrong name.
right? Of course.
But he played
I know who you're talking
Old
about.
Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's dope. It's like, have y'all had the chance to cross paths at all?
I feel like I've seen him a few times, but we haven't crossed paths to like meet. But I think he know my homie. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I know this boy's name. I just can't think of it.
Yeah.
But no, he knows one of my homies, and also I know a couple cast members in Wu-Tang as well. So I think we were at like one of their viewing parties or some shit like that.
That's dope.
Yeah. But I don't know him personally.
Not personally. That'd be hard, man. I feel like that's definitely something that we gotta do.
And I think I learned that he was from Philly after
Yeah.
the event that I saw him at.
I feel like I didn't learn he was from Philly for what? I didn't even know you was from Philly initially, bro.
That's crazy.
Not even gonna hold you.
It makes sense because how would you know? But like me being from Philly, I'm like that's all I.
You like why the fuck you wanna know? Yeah.
Somebody, you know what I'm saying? I tell people I'm from Philly all the time, so it's like
It's just crazy. I feel like you came on the scene and you came on the scene so commercially for me. Like you get what I'm saying? So whereas though you got some people, it's like two ways to make it. You got people who make it through the independent movies and they've been on Tubi a million times.
Yeah.
So you know they from Philly. You seeing these niggas at all the Philly events and everything like that. Whereas though your breakout, you know, we talking like Law and Order, Netflix movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
Automatically you're a commercial face to me. You get what I'm saying? There is nothing underground I can connect you to in a sense. Like we're like another dude who came up through doing those type of films.
I feel you.
So I feel like automatically I wouldn't know until I dig. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
There was some other shit
He
before
from Philly,
all that shit.
and he on fire. Like he was doing his thing.
Yeah.
So you did other things prior to? Or did you ever get into like independent films prior to?
Well, the Bedevil was independent, I believe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
Thriller
believe
joint.
Burning Sands was also independent until we went to Sundance and they got Netflix distribution.
And got picked up. When I say independent, I'm talking like a Philly independent joint, like shot by Chop Mosley. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like shit like
you gotta
that.
understand something, like it's a dream of mine to work with Philly artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's dope.
Philly first for me. But it's all about, I think for me, it's all about the budget in terms of like what type of project we about to get in. When I say budget, I don't really mean like it gotta be major budget, but like what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who's the producers?
You gonna do it, you want it to be right.
Right, and like I said, it's wrong to say like it's about the budget because it's never really about the budget. It's more so about the production company, the integrity of the script and stuff like that. But when I say budget, I feel like you can get an idea of what type of project is going to be based off of the budget.
What type of level of execution we about to have.
Yeah, potentially.
Right.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of the game. You know, it's always, I feel like it's always in any industry. Like, that's why a lot of times when people talk to you, the first thing they talk about is budget.
Yeah.
Because they feel like it helps determine how serious you are. But I feel like in any industry, it's always those breakout people that can make something crazy happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I
a
say
little bit. So it's hard.
Exactly.
You can't really always go off that.
Exactly.
You got them dudes who pull, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Pull
but I
a
feel like
monkey out
the
bag.
independent circuit is where you get more like unique scripts, unique characters. Because to your point, there is when it comes to like commerciality, it has to appeal to more people. So there's a general like washover or generalization that happens with the script sometimes. But not only the script, sometimes even the production,
The whole thing,
the
pretty
shot
much.
selection, the lighting style.
Facts.
Whereas like an indie film might have a darker tone, might have different angles that they're using. It's not gonna be as standard. And I think sometimes being a part of those projects are a little cooler because it helps you see yourself differently as an artist. Because like they're taking more risks on the production side.
Right.
You know what I mean? So of course I'm always looking to do independent films.
And who are some like when you talk actors and stuff like that, like who's an actor that you look up to or like look forward to probably working with in the future?
Man, so I would say Paul Giamatti, which is crazy because when you say look up to, I was gonna say Paul Giamatti. When you say work with, if I ever work with Paul Giamatti, that'd be like the biggest dream come true.
And what was Paul Giamatti in for those who may not know who he is?
Paul Giamatti was in Big Fat Liar. You remember that movie with Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bonds, and he was and Paul played the actor that turned blue.
Yeah.
That's Paul Giamatti.
The real active dude. I know you're talking
Exactly.
about. Yeah, loud.
I love that you said active because that's the type of actor I see him as. He's a very active actor.
Right.
He don't let no moment pass him by. Like you watch him.
He make everything a big moment.
Everything, bro.
Right.
And it's not to say that he's like overexpressive, but it just means he's very present. Very, very present. And I think that's what made him such a standout in that film for me, is that he was goofy and fun, but he also was grounded the whole time. So it made, like, I literally, after watching that movie, I was like, I want to be an actor.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I would love to work with him.
I feel like that's a hard thing to pull off too. And he do it in every film he in.
Oh yeah.
Where he could like make the most out of every line without it feeling overdone or overdoing it.
Right.
Like sort of like a Jim Carrey. You know what I'm saying? Like those two, I would definitely put them in a bracket together as active actors who
I can
really
see that
know how to
because
make
they're,
the
like
most.
you said, active. That's
Yeah.
the word. Yeah.
They could really do a lot in a little bit. and it works. It's not overdone.
Absolutely.
That's super dope, man. And so what else is next for you? Like, what do you see yourself doing the rest of the year? Like, what's your plans?
Rest of the year, I mean, now that I just stepped on stage, I'm like, I gotta do it again. Do it again, and I'm probably gonna start with Philly first.
Okay.
That's the idea for me, is to come here, tap in with the fans. They showed me so much love. I'm like, okay, cool. Once they found that I was from the city, I felt like they kind of like assumed the position of being supporters, being cheerleaders, and like trying to see.
They gonna hold you down.
Yeah, because like I said, they were super engaged, and they were trying to hear what the lyrics were. And by the second time the chorus came around, they were singing along to it. So I definitely want to do a concert here and just kind of like build with the city here. You know, I literally, when I sat down here, I got a call back for some film. That'll be cool if I get the chance to do that. But when it comes to the film shit, it's like, it's so unpredictable. Just keep putting my head down, keep doing the auditions. It's cool because I've been out of the audition circuit now like 4 or 5 years. I mean, I've been auditioning, but selectively.
Yeah.
Now it's not as selective.
You don't gotta be out there all like that because you're working.
No. It was more, yeah, exactly. Like during the time, it was because we were shooting the series or whatever. Now that the series is done, at least Homecoming is, like I have more time, I have more opportunity to kind of like take things on. So like it's just a matter of getting back into that spiritual space to really take over whatever that next goal is. Because the way, it's not like I can say, I want to do this or I want to do that. We're not there yet in my career where we're pointing at the script and say, let's do that. It's more about what's going to come next. So I have to be centered spiritually so I can really
gravitate and pull everything to you that you want.
Exactly.
That's dope, man.
Exactly.
That's super fire. And what about, like, you know, you being a young Philly cat out LA, like, you know, you gonna get like a wife out LA and all that shit soon, or you chilling off
the
all
wife,
that right now?
As soon as you said wife, it's just like, left. No, I'm playing. I'm committed. But nah, I feel like wherever I'm at, I'm gonna take what comes where I'm at.
Gotcha.
So like, if you ask me if I want a Philly joint or if I want somebody that's out in LA, if I'm not in Philly, I ain't gonna find a Philly joint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have my experiences there. I'm open to what's going on in LA.
What's open over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure, you know, Philly dudes, when we go anywhere, they love us.
Right.
So
True.
I figured they probably want you out LA, like, you know what I mean?
I guess it's the accent.
It
I
be
ain't know
like
we had
that.
an accent like that.
They be calling you Philly?
What you mean?
Like, you never had, see, you popular, so they like, they know your face.
You mean like
automatically.
nickname?
But
saying
nickname,
Philly?
automatically, when they meet you, you be like, you from Philly, they start calling you Philly.
No.
No, you never had that?
Nah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That'd be cool. Because like you said, people don't know I'm from Philly, which is kind of like, but you know what's crazy? My friends who aren't from Philly say all the time, you like a Philly nigga. I'm like, well, how y'all know y'all you don't know what Philly mean? You know what I'm saying? You ain't never been there. But I think there's a demeanor, is like a realness. We're not really authentic. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like, I'm not gonna do too much.
Yeah, we got a whole persona, like Philly, it's a Philly like mode. People could just tell.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
different.
Exactly.
They fuck with it though.
Exactly.
But listen, man.
But to answer your question, Philly, about what's coming on, what's coming up for this year is music, bro.
All
That's
music.
the lock in, you know what I mean? I got my team on the acting side. They'll find me work, but I'm locking in on the music.
Anybody that you got locked in, planning to work with anytime soon on the music side? Not yet.
I mean,
see what comes.
we got things lined up in terms of like who my producers and stuff are for certain things, but
Okay.
like, as far as we got
Like
Chris
features.
Brown
you
featured next month, nah, it's
the
not
Drake
booked,
vocals
nigga.
ain't coming
We ain't got
yet.
the Drake vocals yet. Her ain't sent her verse in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We waiting on Summer to come up with the concept. No,
There
we
you
ain't got
go.
none of
Yeah, all that type
Yeah,
shit.
none of that type shit.
SZA and all that type
No,
shit.
and which I think is a great place, because it just means like I can kind of like dive in. Because for me, I feel like with the music, it's been a journey, right? So first I started off making music and trying to honor the structure of making a song. So like verse, hook, pre-hook, bridge, you know what I'm saying? Trying to honor those things. And then it got to the point where I was trying to make a catchy song, like, and focusing on those things. And then it got to the point where I was trying to make something that's more deep, more personal. Now I feel like, all right, we've tried all of those things. Now what does an EP or a project or album really sound like from me? What do I really have to focus on?
Right.
And it's kind of making me be more reflective about like, all right, what's been happening in my life and how can I bring myself to the art and really bring it all together. Because the talent has been proven and all that stuff, so now how do we actually go to work and make something like meaningful?
Right, how do we execute and it come across and get received well?
Exactly. Well, I mean, you can't control the reception.
I mean, in a sense, you can. Like, it's not that you can control how people receive it, but you could put it in the best position possible to be received well.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
And I think that like you get out what you put in. So that's why, like, for
Exactly.
me, I'm looking to put more into it.
Yeah.
You know, from a spiritual place, from a conscious place, versus just having, like, an assignment of being like, okay, let's make a catchy song, or let's make sure all of the structures are hit.
Yeah.
It's like doing, like, a class. It's like a test, like we said earlier. It's like we're just passing the test. Now, I feel like I'm doing my dissertation. I showed, okay, I get the lessons of this. Now let's put together a project that actually, like,
It's all about you, helping
makes
them
a
connect
statement.
and feel you.
Exactly.
That's a good job, man.
Exactly.
I'm definitely looking forward to see what you do. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I told you I'm a fan of the show, so I already see what you do on the screen. So now I'm looking forward to seeing what you do musically, because, you know, shit, I'm a music guy too. So definitely looking forward to see where you take
Doing
that.
music.
I used to rap, but, you know, just I'm a music guy, period. Like, I love listening to music, just watching people create. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always had an ear. I feel like everybody who we've had on
You
the
got
show.
ears so you sing?
No, like I can hear it though.
Come on.
I can tell you.
All
You
right,
about to
give us
hit
a little
something?
something.
No, you about to do
No,
it.
you-
I ain't
give us a
singing.
little ooh.
I hear.
Give us a little ooh.
Hey, no, you got to give me a little.
I just
ooh.
did, nigga.
Look. No, you got.
Reciprocity,
You do a
bro.
real drum.
I said ooh.
There we go. See, you got a nice little. It's there. I feel like you ain't give me full effort. I feel like you could have did a little better. I think you got
Nigga,
that in you.
You telling me to do better and you ain't do nothing. Give us a ooh. You got the ear. You can hear it. Come on.
I can't sing, man. You gonna have me looking crazy. They gonna like, yo, that nigga Smooth gotta get out the kitchen now, man. He drunk. It's like, but yeah, maybe another day, man. Pay the Patreon. I'll sing
Another
on
day
the
for what? For
Patreon.
some vocals?
Yeah, for some vocals.
me
We're
a
gonna go to the
song.
studio. We're gonna go to the studio, matter of fact. We're gonna go to the studio.
You produce?
We're gonna go to the studio. I can
produce?
definitely produce.
You just want to go to the studio and do a verse?
I'm gonna do a verse. I might sing a little
All right,
bit.
all right. If I give us a little
Throw the
verse,
auto tune on.
if I give us a little hook, you want to give us a little verse?
Little verse. Right now?
Right now.
What you got for me? Some Drake shit?
I don't know, nigga. I don't know what I'm
Come
doing.
on, we gonna give it to
You
him.
making something out of nothing, bro.
Something out of nothing. Let's get it.
All right, so if I went like, she's the kind of girl that I really want, but she's the kind of girl that everyone wants. I can't have her. Nobody knows why I can't and where she goes.
Where she go? Where she been? That's my money. She gonna spend.
Ooh.
That's my Benz. She get in. That's the club. We sit in.
With that, nah, that was hard though, low key. Like, I ain't mad at that. I came with some corny shit. You made it sound smooth. You know what I'm saying?
That's light though. I'm better than that. Don't judge me.
Nah, bro, that was.
That's somebody's shit.
It's about judgment. You heard what I
Don't
said?
judge me. No, you was on your John.
Nigga,
You was on your
please, I ain't
John.
say nothing. I'm
That
just-
was a little movie John with the top hat and the cane. I could see that. 3 niggas behind you going
Hey,
ooh,
you
ooh,
said
ooh. You
in
know what
my
I'm saying?
Benz, she sit in. I was seeing the image too.
You seen
so,
it? You was fucking with it?
bro, I'm just saying. I
we
appreciate the
go.
creative little, you know.
We gonna get in the stew.
Little
You know what I'm
offering.
saying? A little bit. Show you how, I mean, what my pin game be like. But listen, man, let them know where to follow you at. Let them know how to keep up with you. You know how to catch your next project and anything like that. What you got coming out?
You can follow me at Mitchelle Moye Edwards. It's Mitchell, Mitchell, Moye, Moye, Edwards, Edwards. That's on all streaming. That's on all socials. Mitchell Moye Edwards, YouTube, all of that. You get all the latest, all the new stuff, what's coming up with us. We'll see.
Yes, sir. Did you have to put the Moye in there because there's another Mitchell Edwards? Dude from like the UK, you never seen that? If you put it in on like iTunes and shit, his
That's
shit
my
like
name.
pop up. Yeah, you Mitchell Edwards, but he pops up in Mitchell Edwards under artist.
No, I'm just saying, my name is Mitchell Moye Edwards.
Yeah,
That's
like
my-
is that your middle name?
Yeah.
Moye, yeah. So I was saying, did you add your middle name in there because of that? Like to not have that conflict?
I added it
You ain't
because it
even
was
know.
there.
It's just smooth, slick like that.
That's what my mom named me.
People don't use their middle name too often.
I know, but like, for me, it was kind of like the music thing versus the acting thing. Like, I didn't make too much of it. I just got to use my middle name.
There you go.
Like growing up, people called me Moye.
That's
So
all.
it was like, we got an opportunity to use it.
Use it,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's
I
a
feel
good
like
singing
I feel like
name.
it's a shorter name. Like, yeah, Mitchell Edwards is a little more formal for music. I feel like it's a shorter name. It's easier.
Yeah, it's definitely a good singer, John. Real R&B-ish.
Real R&B's. And that's what we doing, bro.
Moye. I see that. It's a frequency and all that shit. Moye.
Got the plug?
It's hard, bro.
You got the plug?
I'm gonna call my man Slick. He
One with the
with
bumble?
the fragrances and all that.
Come on.
We could do a bumble. Talk to Rose. Hit us up, man. Listen, man, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Smooth. My guy Mitchelle Moye Edwards. Cooking up 215. We out here. Let's go.